I know back to school shopping will have some of you all stressed about money, but here's the thing. On Sunday, August 24th, we're about to bless hundreds of families. My personal barber, Way Too Sharp Barbershop, and AO Enterprise, myself, are giving away free, fresh haircuts for kids. I said it, free. Also, backpacks filled with school supplies. Free food provided by Flavor to Food Truck, bounce houses, live DJ, and so much more with the grand prize of laptops. Now, these are going to go fast. These are first come, first served. And so on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Way Too Shop Barbershop off of 7091 Berry Road in Accokeek, Maryland, I want you there. And I want to be real with you. Your kids deserve to walk into the classroom feeling like the kings and the queens they are. Don't let them start unprepared when we're literally handing out for free everything they need to get started. We want to help you. We want to be a blessing. So bring your kids, tell your friends and family, and let's show up as a community on August 24th. Let's have some fun. Let's get some fresh haircuts and start this school year off correct. I'll see you all August 24th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check the show notes for the address again. God bless. While everyone's arguing about politics, there's something happening with money that's about to change everything for regular working people. You're going to miss the biggest opportunity possibly to build wealth with what we've seen in the last few years. I brought in my brother to help you understand what can you do specifically with your money right now to turn this into real wealth in the long term. Tariffs revenue has actually gone up 300% this year. We're talking about $300 billion in revenue that wasn't there before.
They running prices up and they trying to make it seem like they're doing you a favor by throwing you checks. And we gotta be able to peep the game into play. Inflation is going up. So if you're not investing, your $100 is worth less than it was worth last year. So you're losing money. Your financial breakthrough is there. It could be your income needs to be higher, or it could be your expenses need to be lower.
This isn't just about a $600 check, allegedly. This is about a complete shift in how Americans can fund itself. While everyone's arguing about politics, there's something happening with money that's about to change everything for regular working people. And I mean this literally everything. You see, Trump just announced the $600 check coming to Americans. Yes, to you. But here's the thing most people don't understand. This isn't 2020 all over again. This is completely different. And if you don't understand what's really happening, you're going to miss the biggest opportunity possibly to build wealth with what we've seen in the last few years. Can I be honest with you? I've been studying this for weeks, and what I discovered is going to blow your mind. You see, in 2020, the government printed money out of thin air, sent you checks, and then paid, no, I can't say then paid, then you paid for it in inflation. Actually, we all paid for it in inflation. But this time, this money is coming from somewhere completely different. And here's what gets me somewhat excited, but also on the other side, not so excited. While rich people, wealthy people are quietly positioning themselves to benefit from these changes, regular people like you and me can do the exact same thing. But you got to understand the game first. So today, Courtney and I, our investing expert, is going to be breaking down exactly what's happening, where the money is really coming from, and most importantly, I brought in my brother to help you understand what can you do specifically with your money right now to turn this into real wealth in the long term. Not just spend it and be broke again, but actually build something, do something with this money. So let me break this down real quick before we bring Courtney on. You see, back in 2020, here's what happened. And I want you to follow the trail of the money with me. The Federal Reserve printed trillions of dollars, gave it to the government, and the government sent you $1,200, $600, whatever. But guess what? You paid for those checks through inflation. Your groceries went up, your gas went up. Every single thing went up. That was you paying for your own stimulus check. But this $600 check, somewhat a different game, supposedly. Allegedly. This money is coming from tariffs. That's taxes on goods coming into America. And here's the crazy part. Tariffs revenue has actually gone up 300% this year. We're talking about $300 billion in revenue that wasn't there before. Now, here's what most people mess up. They're thinking, great, free money. Let me go spend it. But listen, that's honestly broke people language, all right? Wealthy people, they're looking at this and saying, you know what? How do I position myself to benefit from the entire system change that's happening? Because here's what's really happening. This isn't just about a $600 check, allegedly. This is about a complete shift in how Americans can fund itself. And when systems change like this, there's always winners and there's going to always be some losers in the market. So the companies that benefit from these tariffs, their stocks could explode, but that sector could hurt. You might want to avoid the companies that will hurt. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today. All right. So I called my brother Courtney and I said, bro, you got to come back on. And I'm always doing research to make sure that we utilize his wisdom and knowledge effectively while he is here with us. He is a thought leader and he is a host of his brand new show called the Everyday Investor Show that we're going to put that information inside of today's show notes. And I want each and every single one of you all to go subscribe to the channel. He already put out a couple of videos and he's going to be putting out more to teach everyday people how to become every single day investors. Because while I'm teaching you how to understand what's happening and how to get out of debt, you need someone who lives and breathes investment to show you exactly how to position your money. Whether you got $600, $500, $6,000, or even $60,000, you need this information. Let's be honest. Most people are stressed and stuck in the paycheck to paycheck cycle because they were never taught how money actually works. That is exactly why I built this channel. Every week, my team and I are breaking down how to master your money, how to get out of debt, save, invest, and build wealth without borrowing a dime. No fluff, no hype, just real money talk that actually helps you win financially. You see, because money impacts every aspect of our lives, our peace, our relationships, and even our future. If you don't take control of it, it will control you. And if you're tired of just surviving and you're ready to build wealth God's way, you're in the right place. Over 900,000 people have already subscribed to our YouTube channel with over millions of downloads on our Apple and Spotify podcasts. Now, when we hit 1 million on YouTube, we're giving away $30,000 to help you get out of debt and to start building legacy. So listen, don't just watch. Hit that subscribe, family. Join this community. Let's build real wealth. Let's build real financial freedom together. It's your boy. Hit that subscribe. Let's get back to the show. Yo, Courtney, welcome back, man.
What's good, man? Appreciate you having me.
Hey, man, I'm trying to be like you, Doc. I'm trying to be like you. I sent you this article a couple of days ago, right? When you saw this article, thinking about the everyday investor, what first came to mind when you first read it?
Hey, man, you know, for my everyday people, man, I'm like, listen, we can't let these people trick us. You know, no, you gotta know what's going on,
Facts.
man. Like,
Facts.
you gotta be able to peep the game in the whole play. Like, you know, so imagine going into, I don't know, electronic store.
Right.
Right. And you know the surround sound system that you're looking for is $1,000.
Right.
All right. You already done peeped it. You done did the shopping. You done been in the store. You done looked at it a couple times.
Yeah.
But then when you go in there to buy it, now it's $1,400. And they say, hey, listen, sign this rebate, scan this QR code, and we're going to send you $400 back. We did that because we love you. Like, we like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did you a favor.
Yeah.
We're like, nah, man, it's actually, just charge me the regular price.
That's it.
You know, and that's what's happening, man. You know, they running prices up and they trying to make it seem like they're doing you a favor by throwing you checks. And we got to be able to peep the game into play.
So when you look at this, and I didn't send you this question, but if you saying it's like it's a game, we got to peep the play, right? How do we start noticing games before it actually becomes a game at our doorstep?
Yeah, you really got to ask why.
Yeah.
Why is it happening?
Yeah.
Like, in anything, if there's money that's going around, if there's money involved, especially if somebody's saying they doing you a favor, you gotta immediately ask why.
Right.
Why and how. Like, and then the numbers gotta flow. It has to make sense. And so that's the first step. Just ask how and why.
Now, because of this, let's say if it does go through, I think that there will be some companies that will benefit from this, that'll explode from this. From your expertise, could you think of or name 3 specific stocks or sectors that if this was to actually go through, that your everyday investors should be following?
Yeah. So, and I'm going to answer this in 2 ways, right? So first, I want to answer the question. So like industries that are going to do well, SaaS companies, software as a service.
Okay.
So there's no product, there's no import, there's no manufacturing. Those are all things that are going to be hurt by tariffs. Software, it's just the software. They make it, they license it.
Yeah.
Low overhead. And those are the type of companies we really want to invest in anyway.
Yeah.
But software as a service is going to do well. One product industry, that one sector of products that will do good is consumer products. And we've talked about this on the show before, but the advantage to consumer products is whether stuff good is happening in the economy or stuff is bad in the economy. You still got to wipe your butt, right? Nobody's cutting that out their budget,
Facts.
all right?
Facts.
So that's a sector that's going to do well. Anything that streams. You think Spotify, you think Netflix, anything that stream. Again, there's no manufacturing, there's no imports, none of that. Those are gonna always do well. But this is the part that I want us to start thinking about, especially for the everyday investors. You know, you had, we're going to talk about things that we do on the Investing Uncomplicated show to help people out. This is an area where I really want to help people change the perspective of how we invest. So when it comes to investing, if during a time where certain industries are going to be negatively impacted, that's actually the time where you want to look for buying opportunities. Right, because the software companies right now, as inflation goes up, as there are more tariffs, the streaming companies, the software companies, they're going to already be doing well. And if you invest right now, you're going to be investing at higher prices. It's going to cost you more to invest. So how I want us to start thinking about is like, well, how can we find good investing opportunities through the companies that may be hurting right now? Right. And my whole philosophy is good value on good companies. And so this is where you can find good value. So industries that are going to be hurt are going to be like product industries, automobile industries. These are they're going to be hurting. Now, I don't typically like a lot of products. I definitely don't like the automobile industry. But when you think about a company like Tesla, for instance. Okay, so yes, Tesla, as we know it, we look at it as an automobile company. They're much more than that.
Facts.
But they will have challenges in terms of imports. I know they have a lot of manufacturing that does happen in the States, but the stock is hurting right now for a few different reasons. But this can be the type of thing that causes more jobs. They could create good buying opportunities. You hear people talk a lot about like Nike. I don't like Nike. All right. I like the shoe. Not the brand. Stock. But there's another apparel company. It's called OWN Holdings. I don't know if you've ever seen people, they look like the most comfortable shoes you could ever wear, but they have like an ON on them.
No, I never heard of them.
But it hadn't hit like our culture yet. It's not like a black hot brand. So even if you think about like what Lululemon was, Lululemon's been around for a while, right? But just now in terms of like our culture, we're seeing more young black people wear. So OWN is kind of like what Lululemon was 5-7 years ago. But a great company, revenues growing fast, really strong balance sheet. Stock price is going to be down right now because it's a product. Right? It's manufactured somewhere else. So finding good value in the midst of the turmoil.
So it's almost like, how do we look into OWN now? And we're going to probably buy it super cheap, may even see it go down a little bit. But we got the stock. But if we're thinking like Lululemon, in the next 5 to 7 years, they'll bounce back. So what I hear you saying for us everyday investors is you buy good value at a good price and you let it sit there and don't expect to get the money back within 2 months.
Exactly.
Building credit the traditional way is slow and confusing, and most credit cards want you to rack up debt just to boost your score. You see, I used to think that you had to choose between staying debt-free or having a good credit score. But
But here's what I've discovered. There's actually a way to build credit without any credit checks, without going into debt, and without paying crazy interest fees. And it works faster than I thought possible. See, my friends at Kickoff, they are the truth. They are doing something different. They help you build credit the right way without the debt trap. I've seen people go from no credit to a 700 plus score using their system. And they did it completely debt free. Say it one more time, completely debt free. Over 150,000 people have left 5-star reviews on the App Store. Users see an average of 34 points increase in their credit score. Some even see, watch this, up to 84 points within the first 12 months. These aren't just numbers. These are real people getting approved for homes and getting better interest rates. Here's the truth. Every month you wait is another month of paying higher interest rates on everything. A good credit score can save you a lot of money, thousands on a mortgage, hundreds on car insurance, and even help you skip the security deposits. Don't let bad credit cost you money. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/kickoff right now to get started for as little as $1 on your first month. I want you to build credit the debt-free way because your future self will thank you.
What have you seen? But let's say we did buy OWN, right? Someone puts $500 into OWN this month, and when should they look at the stock again? Like, when should you start seeing an uptick in that stock? Is it a year, 3, 5, 7 years?
Yeah, I think you want to start checking it in about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, checking it 6 months. I'll give you an example. CrowdStrike, which is actually it could be a good time for this one as well. So CrowdStrike, last year they had the whole debacle with the software and the shut down the airports. Their stock price after that happened, it dropped something like 40%. And 6 months after that, 6 to 8 months after that, the stock was up over 100%.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, even if you look at today compared to a year ago, it's down a little bit now, but it's still up over 50% in the last year, right? And so it's finding those moments where there's drama. You know, when I teach people to uncomplicate investing, it's like be a toxic investor, right? Look for the drama.
Yep.
All right, and so when you invest during those moments, it's giving you the value that you need. And that's just one example. Like, I mean, there are several examples we can go through where there has to be a good company. This isn't any company. You can't just look at any company and say, okay, the stock price is down, I'm gonna buy it. It doesn't work like that. It has to be a really good company.
You said something, and I kind of want to go back, and I probably should have asked you this on the very first show we had you on, because I hear this in my head. You know, it's the spiritual side of me. I hear my community saying, wait. Telling me to buy low, right? But you mentioned companies like Tesla that everyone knows. And I think they're asking, well, Courtney, why, as strong as a company as Tesla is, why would the stock drop that much? Like, if they're still selling cars, if they're still a good company. So what impacts a company to make their company drop that low, but then it bounces back up? What plays a role in that?
Yeah, so the news, the economic data, and here's the thing, like the stock market, it isn't a very like firm and definitive space. So it's like, if this thing happens, then the result is going to be X amount of percent. We don't know, right? Even the prices that we pay for stocks, they're based off of expectation and perceived value. All right, like, you think it's a good company, and because everybody else thinks it's a good company, people buy it, right? So what tends to happen is when the news is bad, because we live in a social media world, we're sensational, we overreact, emotional swings, like this is the space that we live in.
Yeah.
And what happens with good companies when there's bad news, there's typically a sensational move in the stock price that causes it to drop. And the drop in the price may not be justifiable by the company's performance. So think about it like this. Think about you've been studying in school and you're studying for every test. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
But because the entire class average is down, you think that your average is down, but then when the report cards actually come out and at the end of the quarter, you're like, oh, man, I'm actually doing better, right? It doesn't matter that the entire class was struggling. I was doing what I was supposed to do, and when report cards come out, we get to see the true value.
That's it. I love that. I had to ask that question because I wanted my people to see and understand that. Because I know when I first got in the stock market, that was my first question. Well, if it's bad, what made it go bad? And are they going to stay bad? But that's just the name of the game. Now, you named 3 companies that like Tesla own, for an example, that may go down and may bounce back up. Could you think of companies or even sectors that we should just stay away altogether from for right now?
Man, the automobile industry is crazy. I just, it's not an industry that I like at all.
Gotcha.
You know, they talk about tech products, but if I'm not gonna call out any companies to completely stay away from,
right?
But the automobile industry is definitely one that I would avoid.
Now I gotta ask you this question: we need automobiles. It's like we do. But it's like Honda, good company. You know, that's probably one of the most sold cars in America. That wouldn't be a good. What's the reason why you would say you wouldn't invest into an automobile company like that?
Yeah, because what's going to happen is the demand for vehicles is going to go down. They're not going to sell as many because prices are higher.
Yep.
You know,
because of tariffs and stuff like that.
Exactly, because so the tariffs are going to make automobile parts more expensive.
Yes.
And listen, there's great companies around, but they not going to eat the cost, okay?
Right.
They're going to pass that cost down to the people that's buying the cars.
Yep.
As a result of that, when prices are high, consumers don't pay for them, right? They find alternatives. And what may happen is consumers are going to go like, I'm not going to buy this new car, right? Because that's how Honda is going to make their money. It's going to be off of the new cars.
Yeah.
They're going to say, let me see if I can find me something that's used and maybe buy that instead. Or they may say prices are too high. I'm just going to wait a year. You know, I'm going to try to get another year out of this car that I'm driving now. And so that's how the automobile industry is impacted. And it's not just tariffs, right? We're looking at a place where jobs aren't as strong, incomes are flat, debt is high. So there are a number of other things that are playing into this economy right now besides just the tariffs.
Let's stay right there because you made a valid point. I've received a lot of emails from people saying, "Hey, yo, I just got laid off," or I maybe not got laid off, but my hours decreased at work. I got $5,000, say for an example, sitting inside of a savings account, but I also have $10,000 in debt. I've been watching the show with you and Courtney. I want to invest. What should that person do with that $5,000? Should they look into buying some stocks and paying off some of the debt? Should they put all that money to buying all the stocks that is at a cheap price right now? What would you advise? I'm curious to that everyday investor.
Man, if this person only has $5,000 and maybe they don't have anything else saved for emergencies or whatever, don't invest that money. That money needs to stay in your high yield savings account, right? You know, don't be aggressive with your debt because you're out of a job. You don't know how long it's going to last.
Agreed.
Right? You don't know when it's going to bounce, when you're going to bounce back. If anything, I think one investment opportunity that people miss trying to immediately jump into the stock market is investing in themselves. And this may be a moment where you need to develop a new skill so your employability goes up, so that your earnings potential can go up, so that your job security can improve.
Yes.
And so the investment that person may need to make, it isn't necessarily in the stock market. It may be in themselves. But even that needs to be done strategically so you don't blow through your only $5,000 not knowing when you're going to be employed again.
No, I'm sitting here thinking like, no, that's good. And a lot of investors in your particular space won't say, don't invest into the stock market, come off being aggressive on the debt, keep that money in a high yield savings account, but maybe take 1,000 of that and go get into a boot camp or go get some type of education to make you more money, because it does in the long run, it makes you more money.
Makes you more money.
that an investment can't do immediately with that money. That's, man, this is why I like Courtney. This is why y'all got to be locked in with Courtney and definitely lock into his show, Everyday Investor. Real quick, I got some more questions, but
and so the show is Investing Uncomplicated.
okay, but where did Everyday Investor come from?
Because it's for the everyday investor. It's for the everyday investor. We help in your money and the market make sense. It's for the everyday investor. So I'm not messed up with that because it is for the everyday investor.
So the name of the show is called what?
Investing Uncomplicated.
Investing Uncomplicated. Where did I see Everyday Investor at?
You've seen it. We talk about the everyday investor and everything that we do. Everything we talk about the everyday investor. Yeah. So you're not wrong.
I know your fiance over there saying he's saying it wrong, babe. Check him.
Nah. She know where it comes from. She know where it comes
She's the marketing guru. She's like, hold up, that's not the name of his show. All right. So Investing Uncomplicated, y'all. We're gonna put that inside of the show notes so that you all can do this. Is it YouTube and podcast or just YouTube right now?
Just YouTube right now.
All right, cool. So for my podcast listeners, head over to to the YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I need y'all to do this. Subscribe to the channel, all right? And get this information so that way, because some of you all got some extra money right now that you do not know what to do with it. Yo, get the information so you can learn how to make some more money.
What's going on, fam? Hey, real quick break from the show. I want to give you the direct link to where you need to go to put that $100 because 2025 is the year that we are going to make smart investments. And you got to go over and check out my friends at Moomoo. You see, it's 2025 and it's time to get serious about growing your money. With that extra $100, instead of spending it on something fleeting, I want you to invest it and watch it multiply today. Meet my friends Moomoo, the trading app that's redefining how we build wealth with real-time data, powerful analytics, and easy-to-use platforms that has index funds inside of this platform. Moomoo is the ultimate starting point for your investment strategy in 2025. Whether you're new to the game or seasoned pro, Moomoo is designed to help you invest smarter and grow faster. All you have to do is go to anthonyoneal.com/Moomoo today and start investing for your future. It's commission-free. It's simple. It's direct. It's the best place to put your $100. Listen, go to anthonyoneal.com/Moomoo after you finish watching this show for me and my friend, my brother, Courtney. All right? Love you.
Are you doing one show a week, every other week? What are you doing?
We're going one a week.
One a week.
One a week.
Do you know you have a consistent day yet? Or you just whenever you have time?
We are no. We're trying to figure out the schedule that works best between our production team. You know, it's a new thing, so we're trying to get everybody on the schedule. But we're going once a week, and we're about to pick a day.
Okay.
So we are really excited. Something new, you know, and so we're gonna pick a day so people know when to expect us, right?
There's so many shows out there, Courtney, that I believe are good shows, but they are for the advanced high dollar individual. You said at your show, saying it right, is for the everyday investor. So does that mean that's for the person who is making $45,000, $50,000 a year? They can come and learn, and if they only got $50, $100, they can learn from you on how to invest that to eventually scale up and get to that intermediate advanced level?
Absolutely. Like here's the great thing about being an everyday investor. It's not even your income that differentiates you from other people. It's about your understanding. It's about what you know. It's a lot of people out here that's making $250,000 a year. I talk to them on a regular. They know nothing about the stock market, and they sitting on $500,000 in multiple savings accounts across 3 or 4 different banks.
Facts.
Right? So it's more so about the understanding, your foundation in terms of the stock market, what you know about it, what you need to know. Because there are people out there who talk about, you know, stock options and a whole bunch of stuff, but there are people out here like, I don't need to know stock options.
Facts.
You know, I don't need to know penny stocks. I'm not trying to be a cryptocurrency expert.
Facts.
I just want to know what I can do with my money so that it grows at some point. You know, that's the everyday person. You know, you may be a HVAC tech. You may be a single mom. You may be a single dad. You may be an attorney. right? You may make $150,000 a year. You may make $50,000 a year, but you know that you need to be invested in the stock market and you're looking for a place to start.
Yeah.
And we provide people with that place to start.
Listen, y'all, we're going to drop the show inside the show notes. Go check it out. Go subscribe. That was a shameless plug. Key didn't ask me to do that, but we're trying to get you into black, get you out of the red, into the black, and stay into the black so that your children's children can start in the black. All right, so go subscribe to the show. I did a show about a couple of weeks ago, Courtney, and I was about insurance, car insurance, and I did some research and I found out that insurance companies, they take our premiums and whatever doesn't go out in claims, they take the rest of those premiums and they invest them, and they invest them into bonds or they invest them into the stock market. Man, when I put that out there, I got so many emails from people saying, what is a bond? What is the difference between a bond and stock? And so I have my answer, but you're the investing expert. Let's educate the people on what is the difference between an actual bond and an actual stock.
Yeah, so a stock is ownership, right?
Yep.
A bond is you giving somebody else a loan. It can be a government entity, it can be a corporation, right? Because corporations do bonds.
Yeah.
But you're loaning them money, and in exchange for the loan, they pay you a set amount of interest, 3%, maybe 4%, depending on the risk of the bond. So the safer the bond, the lower the return. So like a treasury bond is going to be the safest bond that you can get. So that's loaning the federal government money. Yeah. They're going to pay you 2.5%, 3%.
Yeah.
Then you can do like a corporate bond. They may pay you something higher, maybe like 6%, but it's going to come with a lot more risk. So your money is just earning that percentage every year. And you're only earning money on the initial amount that you started with. So if you invest $1,000 into that bond, they're going to pay you, that 3%. Every single year, $30 from now to 25 years from now.
But on the 1,000, not on the 1,000 and
only on the 1,000, not on any of the growth. So that $30 is gonna come in for the next 25 years, okay? And that $1,000 is gonna stay $1,000.
Yeah.
On the flip side, with a stock, you invest $1,000, that $1,000 is gonna grow.
Yes.
And we know that the stock market, we look at the S&P 500 since the beginning of time, is average 8 to 10%.
Yes.
So, and that's 8 to 10% on what you started with and what it grows to. So after year one, you've earned a little bit of money. And so in year two, you're earning money on your principal and the growth.
Yes.
And that's what compounding is,
Yeah.
because you're earning money on what you started with and what you've made. So not only is the growth rate higher, but you have compounding. Yeah. And that's the reason why I say, y'all stay away from bonds. All right?
I was just about to ask you that. When would you say, get you a bond? Is there ever a time in your expertise, because you coach people, you would say, get a bond?
Yeah, if you get to the point where you're about 5 years to retirement, you don't need your money invested so aggressively.
Yep.
You need to preserve your capital.
Yeah.
Maybe you still want to make a little bit on it. Yeah. You want to start reallocating your retirement portfolio to some bonds, not all bonds.
Yes.
Now, as you get, maybe 2 years from retirement, you could get to a point to where, you're probably 80, 85% bonds, eventually 100%. So you don't lose any money.
Right.
But other than that, man, and this is why, in people's retirement accounts, they have like target date funds, and like people be like 30 years old and they got a target date fund and 10% of their money is in fixed income investments. I'd be like, man, get up out of that. Like, put that money in the market. Because what this space traditionally has been, what investment companies and mutual funds, retirement plan administrators, what they do is they say, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of growth, but I'm going to keep it conservative so you don't get mad at me. And like, we teaching people like, you're not going to get mad at nobody. You know the cycles of the market. The market going to be up sometimes and the market is going to go down.
Yeah.
When the market is down, those best days are coming within 2 weeks of those worst days. Right. And you just going to ride the wave. Yeah. We teaching you that. People know that now. Yeah. So the investment companies, you ain't got to be mad at them because you know how this works. Because to your point, that insurance company, they know the cycle of the market.
Know it. So
they just riding the wave. And so if the bank is riding the wave, the insurance company is riding the wave, the annuity company is riding the wave, this is how the most wealthy, marketable companies in the country, this is how they make their money. Like, we could do the same thing.
Man, listen, I was talking to my barber And and I don't trust the stock market, man. I don't trust it. I don't want to lose no money. And I'm like, yo, but that's how the average person thinks, because if all these other bigger institutes are trusting the market, why is the person who makes less money not trusting the market? And still to this day, Courtney, we have a lot of people who just like, I'm scared to lose money. I don't want to lose money. And I get it. Like I feel you, single mom. Like, yo, I work 2 jobs. I have a child. I got children. She's scared to lose that money. How would you encourage her to get over that fear, or maybe use the fear or whatever to get her to become an everyday investor? Because it's a valid concern, especially this. Let me throw this in there for you. Add this in there. With inflation possibly coming back up again. Like, she sees what's happening in the world, right? Groceries are still at an all-time high. Gas is still up. I make $3,000 a month. Hey, yo, Courtney, bro, I pay $2,000 a month in bills. Groceries, I got 2 children and my Negroes can eat. So I'm spending $300 just in groceries. Then I got a car note. I got this. So I only have about $400 left of surplus money. You want me to invest $100 of that? And then tell me I could possibly lose it? Nah. What would you say to that individual?
So let me give this to you, okay? If the fear is that you're gonna lose money, I hate to break this to you, but if you don't invest, you're actually losing money. All right? I'm sorry to tell you.
Facts.
And it's for the reason that you just mentioned. Inflation is going up. So if you're not investing, your $100 is worth less than it was worth last year. Yeah. So you're losing money. The one thing that I can tell you is that in the stock market, the only time you lose money is when you take your money out.
Yes, sir.
And you don't give it the opportunity to come back. Yeah. You do that, you're gonna lose money.
Yeah.
But if you can be faithful, rely on what's happened in the past, look at the data, invest in good companies. We're telling you like what good companies look like.
Yes.
Right? If you can invest for the long run, you don't lose money. You don't.
You don't.
But if you don't invest, I guarantee you are losing money.
I hope y'all hear this. This is why I have him on the show. Now, in your words, because I think some people saying, well, wait. Hey, yo, Courtney, I'm 50. I don't understand this. And I'm confused. I give quote unquote company $100. And then the next day it drops to $60. And you said that I didn't lose any money. Explain to them how they didn't lose any money when they see it went down to 60 and they paid 100. They see the red and they see the thing saying loss. But we're telling them, nah, you ain't lose no money. Explain that to them how they didn't lose the money.
Yeah, so you hadn't lost the money because it'll come back in the future. So it went down the next day, but maybe next week it may go up higher.
Yes.
Right? So it's not like you lost the money. It's more like you misplaced the money for a short period of time. Think about like your keys. Say you're looking for your keys.
You lost them.
You lost them. But you know what, like 30 minutes later, like I found
them. Yeah.
So you didn't lose your keys.
Facts.
They was just out the way for a second.
Bro.
But then you're gonna find them and then you good. They're not lost.
Right.
Now, the only way you lose your keys is that you just leave and you never find them again.
Yes, sir.
You sell that house wherever you live. You never go back there. You just leave it alone completely.
Yeah.
And you just give up on it. That's it. If you just give up on finding them.
Man, listen.
Now, within investing, you know, there will be times where the value of your investment goes down. But it's when it goes down and you don't sell the investment that you have, it's called an unrealized loss. So it's not real, right? It's not real until you sell the position.
Yeah.
And what we teach people is not to sell the position because it's unrealized and it can come back. At the point that you sell it, now it's a real loss.
this is good. Yo, I got to ask this question. I was so heated. I texted you this company called Figma a few days ago, and I was so heated. One of my wealthy friends, he plays for professional football for the Arizona Cardinals, and he texted me. He was like, yo, AO, I just made $1 million in a day. I said, man, shut the hell up. He was like, yeah, I invested into this company 2 years ago that I tried to get you to invest into through a PE firm. And I was like, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be so honest, bro. He asked me to invest into that. And I said no. And I went and bought my truck. What he asked me to invest was nowhere near the cost of my truck. And he invested into that company. The company went public. The first stock was $33. And then it closed the day at $144. And then the next day it went to $133. So it went down if you bought at $144. But he bought in 2 years ago and then bought more stock at $33, made $1 million in a day. These are what my wealthy friends are doing. I got to ask you this, because I think everybody who is an everyday investor one day wants to become that wealthy guy. Yeah. What are you seeing the wealthy people do during times like when they get this information, like from President, what he just announced, or when they see the stock market? What are you seeing the wealthy individuals do, not do, invest in, not invest in right now?
Man, I think that, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but like wealthy people, man, I literally know there's a guy that was a real estate mentor for me. And he literally used to have conversations with me about waiting for the next recession. And there was a point, there was some years that he was like, hey, I think it's coming. So whatever extra cash that you get, set it to the side. And he's a white guy, older white guy, and he knew where I was from, right? He knew I ain't come from a lot of wealth. He knew the neighborhoods that I was from. And he looked at me, he was like, I know everything that you've heard where you from. I know how this sounds. It's unfortunate that these type of economic situations, families do hurt during these moments.
Yeah, that's fact.
He was like, but you're an investor.
Yeah.
And as an investor, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. The best prices that you're gonna get to buy, to make your initial investment, it's gonna come when there's some type of bad news. My whole philosophy of investing during bad news, being a toxic investor, all of that came not from a stock mentor, it actually came from a real estate mentor.
Yeah.
And the same thing just applies to the stock market.
Yeah.
So the wealthy people that I know, they are waiting for the buying opportunities. They are waiting for the bad news. Another thing is they not real concerned about temporary economic conditions.
Facts.
You know, they're continuing to invest. They don't stop. They don't get scared. They're consistent. You know, the opportunity that your homeboy had that invested in a startup, that comes from relationships with the right people. We've invested in a couple startups, and look, my response to your text was, Lord, I see what you have done other people, right? Thanks. And so we've invested into a couple startups, and I'm hoping that one day I get that opportunity, that celebration. But those opportunities have come through relationships. Bro. So everything isn't always just about money. It is about having good relationships and having look, if my only relationships were with the people from North Nashville, where I'm from, I would have never had the opportunity to invest in some of the startups that I've invested in, some of the real estate, some of the mentors that I've had. You know, I took chances to meet people who were in places that I wanted to be. And I wasn't weird about it. You know, like, hey, will you be my mentor? Like, no, I'm not that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But I introduce people, I tell them what I'm interested in and how can I follow them? How can I learn more, right? It's like not about us wasting time on some pointless lunch. is not about us jumping on a weird phone call. Like, these people busy.
Yeah.
You know, like it don't work like that.
Yeah.
You got to find another way to put yourself in the room, in a position to be a part of the conversation. Maybe it's not asking them for help. Maybe you send them something to help them. You know, like, so that's how you build those relationships. And if you're in the right place, if you've built the right relations, people will tell you opportunities that come up. And then the next part becomes you got to do the research to make sure it's an investment that makes sense for you.
Bro, I cried. But it was also an eye opener for me. Because I was like, dang, I had this relationship. He gave me the play. I chose to buy something that I wanted and that I paid cash for. But now when I look at that truck, I'm like, man, you cost me $500,000. And I wonder how many of us have the opportunity to invest 50, but we put it into something else, and then we've missed out on money because we didn't seize the opportunity. And I think right now, we got to start seizing the opportunity, because we cannot afford to miss out on money for pleasure. Not in this season, not at the rate that our world is changing. And I think that the normal, we're going to see a new normal. I don't think we're ever going to go back to where we were before COVID. I don't think we're going to see those gas prices, those food prices, home prices, interest rates. Like, man, when I first met you, dude, my home in Columbia, Tennessee, my interest rate was 2.2. You know, I paid $213,000 for that home. And I was a 3,000 square foot brand new home in Columbia, Tennessee with 2. To this day, I'm upset that I sold that house. I'm like, what? Wait. I think the new norm is coming. And if the new norm is here and if it's coming, then we gotta get new money. And we gotta have new ways to where our money can make money. And that's what I'm really on right now, is really my health and how can I have my money working harder for me. And when my boy showed me he sent me a screenshot. I promise you, I sat back in my chair. I was in my office. I was sitting in my chair when I got the text. I stared at it for 5 minutes. I went and laid on my couch in my office and just thought about, man, I missed out on a great opportunity. And then I text you and he was like, man, Lord, do it for us. And I literally said, no, Lord, do it. But he can give us an opportunity. But if we don't position ourselves to seize the opportunity with the information that you provide, information that I provide, then the Lord can do it. But have we put ourselves in a position to seize that opportunity? And I think that's one thing I love about what you're doing on Investing Uncomplicated, the show. You're teaching us how to seize the opportunity with the resources that God has us at right now. Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you, bro, for that, because I think we need a lot more people who can talk to the everyday individual and turn them into an everyday investor. And y'all, I need y'all to lock in. We're way over our time, but I need y'all to lock in, subscribe to Courtney's show. You're gonna get the information. The dude he's a teacher. Like, he's a teacher at heart, educated, got 2 degrees in this field, worked in the field. This is a guy that is not just a YouTuber or an influencer. No, he is an actual thought leader. He's been doing, how long you been doing the money space now? How long you been in?
Man, like, bro, like we are over 15 years. It's crazy. I feel like I'm in too good a shape. I feel like you know what I'm saying? Dang, is it really like, yeah.
15 years, bro.
Yeah.
15 years in the game, not 15 years being an influencer, because if he don't like I'm gonna say this, but y'all, he wasn't even on social media until he met his fiance. Like, she got him on social media. Like, this guy has been in the schools teaching this. He's been teaching this to young people. He's written curriculums. Like, this is not an influencer. And I'm not knocking those because I'm an influencer. He's an influencer now. We're not knocking that. But I want to be with people who has education in the game, who's had the ups and the downs. He's made money and lost money, who has experienced what they're teaching. And so I want you to go check out his show. We're going to, again, put the information inside the show notes. I got one last question for you to end it, bro. If someone watching this and only does one thing with their money after our conversation today, what would you tell them to do?
One thing to do with their money.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them to find extra money in their budget.
Yeah, it's good.
Find the extra money.
Yeah.
Because when you find the extra money, then you can take other steps.
Yep.
Right? People mess up because, living expenses are too high, spend too much money. Find the extra money. It may be hustling, side hustle to get extra money, maybe working more hours, finding a better job. Find the extra money. Your financial breakthrough, it's gonna happen with your income and your expenses. Like that your financial breakthrough is there. Right. It could be your income need to be higher, or it could be your expenses need to be lower. Yeah. Whatever your goal is with your money, like, look there.
That's good.
And that's where your financial breakthrough is.
Man, listen, we gonna end it right there. That's why I rock with him, man. He ain't never say something I disagree with him on. I like this guy. Y'all, check out Investing Uncomplicated. I was about to say Everyday Investor again.
For the everyday.
It's for the everyday investor, but check out the show, y'all, and make sure that you all lock in. All right, it's your boy Anthony ONeal. We'll see you in the next show. Peace out.